अभी वहाँ पर वो रहना चाहिए।
हाँ वो बहुत अच्छा लगता बहुत बढ़िया लगता है।
चेंज कर दिया
तो शेयरिंग पे तो सुविधा डालना पड़ेगा। शेयरिंग पे तो सुविधा करना पड़ेगा अगर हम उसको जाएंगे क्रोम प्लस पे।
नहीं क्रोमकास्ट में तो ये क्या बोल रहे हैं क्रोमकास्ट में
शेयरिंग में करना पड़ेगा।
नहीं अभी ये कैसे लगा हुआ है?
अभी तो मैंने क्रोमकास्ट से कनेक्ट किया था।
अच्छा तो आप क्रोमकास्ट के थ्रू करना चाह रहे हैं?
वो ज़्यादा बेटर है मेरी ख्याल से।
तो उसमें फिर आपको टैब
नहीं सर डेस्कटॉप पर शेयर करने के लिए
साउंड से हो जाता है।
वो मैं वही देख रहा था टाइम होना वही चेक कर रहा था क्योंकि आपने जब दिया तब तो साउंड आ रहा था।
ऐसा कर दीजिए इसको शेयर इसको मैं यहाँ से लिखूँ।
हेलो 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 हेलो
इसमें आप डायरेक्टली लगा दीजिए।
हम तो इसका साउंड
तो उसको ऑफ कर दीजिए। अभी देखिए
हेलो 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 नहीं होता है टेस्ट है चेक करके टेस्ट आता है इसमें सेटिंग में टेस्ट आता है जरा दूर कर दीजिए
हेलो टेस्टिंग हेलो
हेलो सर तो स्टॉप है लाइन में मैंने शुरू की
बड़ी
तो मैंने अभी सर उससे कनेक्ट किया था स्काइप से, तो स्काइप से मैंने उसको ऑफ किया हुआ था।
यहाँ पर तो हैंगआउट से सिर्फ किसी कारण से खुल गया था।
अच्छा वो हो सकता है। इसमें चेक करने के बाद जैसे स्काइप में होती है ना, तो हम चेक कर लेते हैं सारा। इसमें
ये वो गूगल में है,
खाली इसमें प्ले करो दिखा रहा है। जैसे कोई पूरा सेटअप हमारा चेक हो जाता है ना।
जिम्मेवार माता नहीं।
ये सेटिंग नहीं होगा। इसमें ऑडियो तो चेक हो जाती है, वीडियो पूरी चीज ऑडियो को प्ले करके देखो वो चेक हो जाता है।
People watching now, so watch. It's connected. Hello, testing.
साउंड तो जारी और
You are on video conferencing? Okay. The mask is good. अंदर आएंगे। Come here. Closer to remain closer. अरे संजय वो क्या कीजिएगा उसको कहाँ से कीजिएगा ये लकड़ी का वाला है
Hangout and hanging out. Last में time also. फोटो में लिखा अभी तो मैंने वो डायरेक्ट में कर ली तो मैं कर दी और बात मिल रही So all of you hang out and hanging out.
इसका फोन नंबर इसको अभी ये सामने आप आगे ले रहे हैं और पर्पस ऑफ
सर लाइट थोड़ी कम है मुझे इसलिए वो दिख रहा है
हम नहीं ये Three watching now, okay. Can you people hear us? So some of you can come on the video also. कुछ तो को आप लसन से तो के भी इनवाइट कर लो
पूरा माइक भी क्रॉस करोगे माइक किस टाइप
नहीं मैंने एक कमेटी बनाया था उसमें भी बेटे तो बेटे सब गड़बड़ हो गया जिसका इसका देखते हैं इसका ही मुझे मालूम है तो सब कोई पर आ जाए तो पता चलेगा क्या होगा इसमें वीडियो बना जाओ ना हमारे ठीक है तो बट you are able to hear our sound okay ठीक okay I guess we will start the hangout session. First of all, happy new year to all of you because this is the first hangout. We missed few hangouts in between because a lot of tasks. And of course, congratulations to all the participants who participated in the patent result exam. Because although 33 of you successfully completed, but everybody else who prepared and participated gained knowledge. So next time, all of you will, I'm sure, be successful. And probably this is also a new record that your batch has set. That is at one time 33 patent exams agents successfully cleared. So that's a good news as well. Other than that, there were many things happening from TIFAC side, but I think I will not take much of that time. I will probably see if we can save some time for other discussions. So I think Jaswant and Sangeeta, they will brief you a little bit more. Then when we get time later on, we can come back to some of the points that I wanted to say.
I think after this patent exam now, the new task is to compile those projects for which you have been given name of raw material. So we would like to discuss that. And I think Sangeeta has prepared a list of things which has to be done. So some of you have submitted reports already with some analysis. But it's not in a very right state, so I think we need to discuss those points where you need to invest yourself more in really analyzing the information in the right way. So, see, when we talk about these raw materials, few things are important. The name of raw material, and then by what all names it is known. And then, see, why we have chosen is based on the amount of material exported outside India, and this shortlisting was done based on the value of that particular raw material for which it's being exported. So higher value which we were getting for these raw material by way of export, maybe by volume or by value in the form of rupees or dollar. So that was a shortlisting process. So after that, see, each raw material, it is not used as such. So the constituent of that particular raw material are being used, or some part of that particular raw material is used after due value addition. So what is the value addition? The extraction process of that particular raw material is a value addition, or you are making some another material using that particular part of the raw material. So what is finally gaining commercial importance and then why people are importing from India that particular particular raw material, finally putting to what kind of uses. So where actual value addition happens in the whole process. So that need to be identified and to be linked with the research and development within India and outside India. So you may find link that in some of the countries patents are granted in certain area or certain use of particular, as in guar. You said the guar as such is not used. So one important chemical constituent of that particular guar is called galactomannan. That is used in hydrofracturing because it's very viscous. So you can have alternative chemical through synthetic route also that particular chemical. So around that, what kind of patents are there? So we need to analyze that and which constituent is gaining value. So when you list a particular raw material, so you have to list all the constituent of that particular raw material or once you do that, then you look at improvement in that and then try to link with commercial use. So that was the thing which we found while just looking into this. And one more thing, most of us are using some international database and missing our own Indian patent database. So I think we must use IP India or IC.in for our analysis. And generally, what result you are taking, the way those service providers gives you analysis, so that will not be sufficient. So I would request you to download all relevant patent and put in Excel sheet and then try to further analyze in your own way rather than the tool provided by those service providers. Otherwise, the analysis will be very. And I think many of you have not used international patent classification or corporate patent classification, not linking with use of these materials. So, and that will again help you in reaching out to the right kind of analysis. So, anything you would like to add from here because we have seen the reports.
Some of you have submitted reports and mainly have done analysis based on like who are the assignees and who are the inventors, country-wise you've done analysis. But technology-wise analysis has not been done properly, which is required. You have to go through the relevant patent documents and then you can cite important technologies used, like what is the kind of use that particular raw material has been put to. That use has to be brought out in the analysis. And also you can do trend analysis for past few years and find out why particular raw material was exported to an X country and whether the export has increased over a period of time, and what were the reasons for the increase in the export, and if there was decrease or if there was decline, what is the reason for decline, whether that country has started making some alternate product. That's why they are not exporting much, not importing much of the raw material from our country. And if they are importing more, what are the reasons? To which new kind of uses they are putting that raw material to. So all those things have to be seen in the report. And also you can find the export data. You can go to the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade website and CMI websites also you can refer to. From there you can get the export and import data and then try to link the patent analysis of that you have done along with you can correlate the data and then try to infer the things. That way you will be able to bring out the exact thing which we are wanting to do. Because doing only patent analysis is not sufficient. Yeah. That is not sufficient. Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. You can go to that website. Otherwise, you can also come here, those who are in Delhi and maybe at other places.
Can go to IIFT itself.
Okay, IIFT, one lady has come who is handling this, so she had come here to meet me. I'll just find out the name and then because you can have a discussion. Tamanna Chaturvedi.
But IIFT, even if you go there, the country-wide export data is there. So, and export, everything.
Sir, is it available on their website also?
May not be all of it because they're subscribing to various journals. So each journal, if they're subscribing, they're not authorized to the website for free access. So you can go and read there.
So you have to take permission from Hangout.
Yeah, your respective organization, you can get a letter
Letter
from
from
Purushottam and can,
They allow no problem in
with your iCard or if you don't have, then you have a respective.
take on the spot registration, like some members on the spot, like 10 rupees, 20 rupees, that kind of thing is also available. Otherwise, you can write type training.
And ma'am, like you said, only patent analysis, patent databases suggest can be also such non-patent literature.
Yes.
Yeah, how to use that? So that's very, you have to put in the perspective of.
The use of that particular research point.
And try to use do searching maximum patent databases. Like Indian is must because we are exporting the thing. So Indian patent database must, then US, European, all the major 5 patent offices, Korean, Chinese, even Japanese, all these patent databases are available free of cost. So you should go to these databases as well.
You have to make your own data set for final analysis.
Yes, we have the template for that patentability search kind of thing so that we can use it.
And there is no standard template, basically it's not possible. So each raw material will have a different kind of activity.
Those are the broad categories in which we have to search for. Just as such, you said we should have a country-wise analysis, technology-wise analysis,
See,
trend analysis, those things.
those
we
analysis
have.
everybody does. Actually, if we talk about patent analysis, country-wise, assignee-wise, inventor-wise, year-wise, these are very routine patent analysis and these are quantitative analysis. So that they are not going to serve much purpose.
See, that is only a part of the report. Then there are B, C, D, E parts of reports also. A part, that is a must. Otherwise, you can't go to the next part, B, C, D. Next is, how do you correlate with export data? Not only export, import also, like import of other countries. Why they are importing our raw materials, a particular raw material which has been given to you. Why? How many countries are importing? They are importing for what purpose? Because one country may be importing for and using it for some other purpose, other country may be using it for some other purpose. It's not that each and every country will be importing for the same purpose. So those things also you have to find out. Patent analysis is just one part.
These objectives.
So, okay.
When you wanted to increase this.
So actually this whole exercise on raw material started with our work on guar gum. And I have probably briefed you people later earlier, but I will also again repeat some of that. So for example, guar gum is powder of guar beans. Guar beans are grown mostly in western part of India. Rajasthan is has maximum production. Gujarat, Haryana to some extent, Punjab, and some extent Maharashtra and few other states, very small amounts, but mainly is Gujarat. In 2012, the export of guar gum jumped to about 23,000 crores rupees. Earlier, this was only about 3,000 crores rupees. So it jumped 7 to 8 times. It was being used mainly in pharma and food sector, but the reason it jumped was because of its use in hydrofracturing, through which shale gas production started to happen in the US. And there was tremendous demand at that time. Prices jumped by 10 times. So a lot of new farmers and other people came in. So next year, 2013, onwards, the prices started to fluctuate and crash and so on. So all kind of problems happened. So 2013, TIFED was asked to look into this to see what role technology will play and how we can help. Our studies were released 2 years back, and we found that while we're exporting 80% of the world's export comes from India, but 15% Pakistan, and rest of the world is only 5%. So India is near monopoly. But we send out the raw material, that is the powder, but other countries actually do further validation by doing chemical processing, because the powder needs to sustain high temperature and high pressure, and that is all done by chemical processing. India does not do any one of those, but because of this, the prices go up by 5 to 10 times when it is being used for fracking industry. So just to give an example, for example, China buys, let's say, at 100 rupees kg from us, and does value addition and sells at 1,000 rupees. So while we get only 100 rupees, China gets 900 rupees. Roughly, of course, there will be cost of production and so on. So the patent analysis that we did in this area, we found that there are nearly 12,000 patents related to guargum globally. But India's contribution is less than 1%. That means while 80% of the raw material we are exporting, but if I link R&D efforts to patent, then our contribution is less than 1%. So we are not focusing on validation of those materials in which we are strong. And this is the story that is not only unique to guargum. We have hundreds of such materials. Out of those materials, about 170 has been listed after doing some initial patent analysis. And wherever we found that there was a significant number of patents, those have been shared with you for further analysis. But the idea is that what value addition can India do? And from patents, we can get that information. But as I was also mentioned that somewhere we have to link it to the commercial activity, the potential commercial gain that has to be seen. Eventually, what we want is that out of all the work that you do, that we should be able to provide to country that these 170 materials, what are the potentials that, what kind of earning can be there. Now that finance part, that's why Indian Institute of Foreign Trade is being involved in this process, so that we can get some idea of that. So just pure patent analysis will only tell you what kind of possibilities are there, what kind of products are possible, but the linkage to the finance is also important. And so we have to connect both the patent analysis with import-export data that will be useful, because sometimes you export something and you import it back. Even guargum, something that is exported, we import it back after value addition. So it is very critical for India. Historically, you can go to my blog and see I have shared that how much wealth we are losing. Just on guargum, we are losing 50,000 crore rupees per year. That's the kind of potential, maybe even more. And so you can add up hundreds of such material, you can imagine what we are doing. It's a very critical task for not only from your point of view, from country point of view. So that's why more serious work is needed. And I have promised everybody in government that my girls will do wonderful. And so just like patent as an exam, this is another exam that you have to give for country. So thank you. Now you can add anything further that you want to say.
Last report was 85 reports.
Right.
So this report has to be broken.
Okay, so what Sangeeta is saying that 7th batch have prepared 85 reports, technical reports. And that you have to break.
85 students got the certificate.
85 got certificate. So you have to break that record, but this is a very unique exercise that we have never done, where we have taken a problem of country that country is facing for the last 250 years. And we are trying to use your expertise to actually break that barrier of 250 years. You can imagine the importance of this. I will repeat some of the historical things just to emphasize the importance of this. In 1500 AD and even 1600 AD, India was producing so much textile, it was much more than anywhere in the world. Some of you who are from Bengal actually would know there is a Kasim Bazar. The Kasim Bazar used to produce 2 million tons of textile even in 1500, 1600 AD. And that textile was 8 to 10 times more than any European city at that particular time. All of you are aware of Dhaka Malmal. The British, when they made us colony, unfortunately, industrial revolution was taking place in Europe. And why they needed colony? Because they wanted to take raw material out of those colonies, take it to the factory they set up in Europe as industrial revolution was taking place around 1750, and process the things and then sell that finished goods to the colonies, which were like market. So raw material was going out of the colonies and the finished goods was coming back into the colonies. And this gap between the raw material and the finished goods is what made Europe rich and the colonies poor. So Dhaka Malmal, if you have studied about it, you will know that the weavers' hands were chopped off, their machines were destroyed, and even till today, there is no substitute for that kind of finish that was done. Ladies used to wear sari, actually, you could pass the sari through a ring. That was the thing that was told. I don't know if anyone of you have seen that kind of sari now, but that kind of skill was there, which was all destroyed, and so that cotton could be sent out of the country and the textiles could be brought back into the country. And this story was continued. It was about 100 years back, Dadabhai Doroji wrote a whole book on this. This is taught in economics courses as drain theory. That means country's resources are being drained and the finished goods were being brought back into the country. Recently, Shashi Tharoor has been talking about it. We have been talking about it for the last 2 years. And the task that you are doing is a step towards that how to break this 70 years of political independence that we have, but we are not economically independent. We are still continuing the same way. That is, we are continuing to be remaining a slave of European, even Chinese, China also, because they are taking out material from us and selling it at a much higher value. So this whole exercise is actually to identify the potential and then guide the nation as to how we could gain that wealth back and get the country to develop. Now, just to go back to Guargam, one more thing that I remembered. One gentleman who was from IIT Kharagpur, Dr. Ashok Sarkar, he was 10 years senior to me in chemical engineering. He actually holds a lot of patents in Guargam. He's based out of the US. And actually, he is involved, he's a key player in fracking industry. He made a lot of money. And recently, I and he were present at the event. I was there as a guest of honor. He was the chief guest, where he donated $1 million to IIT Kharagpur to set up a center for research in his name and his wife's name. And he promised that anything to do with Guargam, he was willing to fund directly. I had a meeting with him 1 year back in Calcutta, and following that, all this has happened. But he owns a lot of patents. One of his brothers sits in Bombay. He has an office in Ahmedabad. So he takes the raw material out from here in the country, goes to the US, and there he does the processing part and then uses it in the fracking industry. And just because of all of this, he became very rich. He is willing to, in fact, so I have been convincing that instead of taking the raw material out of the country, he should set up factories within the country and do the valuation and then take it out. So the same thing we need to do in many areas. So through your patent analysis, not only will come to know about the possible products, but also the sources, who are the people who are owning those patents. And if you can link it with foreign trade data, then we will know that which ones have higher potential. Like Guargam, we did the work, so we know that how much money, how much export is there, how much we import, and from there I can easily calculate from like something like 50,000 crore value. The same numbers of that kind can be done so that we can then focus on, let's say, top 10 for which countries should focus, looking at the potential. Otherwise, even taking all the 170 at one time will not be possible. So there's a kind of background. I'm not able to get any one of you in the video because this whole system is undergoing change. So I tried to send some of invitation, but it's not working. But you can still call us by phone or something if you want to ask any question. And of course, those who are present in this room, you can ask any question. Any questions? Ashok Sarkar.
Suppose there is a synthetic derivative of the chemical constituent of the plant which we have been given. So we have to analyze the patent on that also.
I think so. That will be
So you see, if the synthetic option is available, now you have to see at what level synthetic option can be used. See, if it is oral use, I don't know the synthetic can be taken as such or not. or it may be some industrial use, it can be. So what is the link, how it is harming? So synthetic is cheaper or through this natural source is cheaper. So if you are able to establish that link, or improved process can compete with the synthetic one. This is happening in Guaranam also, galactamannan. China now start trying to come up with a synthetic galactamannan through synthetic route. So both need to compete in a market. So your R&D in extraction from natural resources with rates it is able to compete in quality and quantity and economic parameters. So if that kind of analysis that will bring more value to that. If you're able to do that, that's the real value.
You can also find out like who is preparing which companies are doing which countries.
See, when you go in drugs, active principles, same active principle may be there in 3-4 raw material. See that those kind of alkaloids which you get in one may be available in another, may be available. But when you extract from one or another, what is the purity, what is the effectiveness? Because the purity will not remain same of that particular active substance when you extract from one to one. I don't really comment on that. So that may differ in properties too. Not fully but partially. So those advantages, see if it becomes a part of a drug or a herbal medicine, so then it may have a different implication. In that case, then origin of the raw material, name may be same, but the origin also may matter. So same, see we have given you a list of 170. The guar 80% we are producing. There may be some raw material where we may not be a sole producer around the globe. China may have an equal amount or more amount of raw material being exported from China to other countries. So it may be 20%. How do we derive value or edge over Chinese this thing? Because of the origin of being produced. So if some, let's say, ashwagandha produced in Himalaya or ashwagandha produced in Rajasthan may have different property. So that origin will soil condition, soil climatic condition, many things will affect. So I don't know. It would be very difficult to go up to that level.
No, sir, it's fact at the harvesting time also.
No, in your analysis within 2 months time.
Oh, then.
So that's a challenge basically. But how much you can do it? Possibilities are there. So that's where you have to run your scientific mind.
You speak loudly so others can also. Not in that
Welcome की केस में 10,000 पेटेंट आते हैं तो 12,000 पेटेंट एनालिसिस can we take the limitation within the year 2005 to 2015 or 2015 to 2000 some ranges
Because like what raw material I have got, I am getting 1,500 patents on that in my global search.
and mine is more than that sir actually mine is more than
I think it's not a very big number. See, when we used to analyze, I think 6,000 patents we used to go through in a month time, all claims, and we used to sit together and make various tables and analyze. Because what you have to do is so you take those patents, put different kind of codes at the end of those patent documents. So you have to create your own code. Technical area wise and application wise or chemical wise, or so you have to create your 10 to 20 codes. So that's what you will have to do. I think requirement तुमने किया था. IPC will not be able to actually. Yeah, some extent it will help you.
अगर पढ़ते हैं तो पेरेंट्स को आपको ट्रेन पर करोगे तभी आपको पता चलेगा कि कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी पे बेसिकली एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस है जैसे और एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस में भी डिफरेंट टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसा नहीं है कि सिमिलर एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस डिफरेंट एक्सट्रैक्शन प्रोसेस होगी अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट बनना है जो रिजल्टेंट है इज अ प्रोडक्ट तो वो प्रोडक्ट ऑप्शन जो है वो सब में कैसे मतलब कि क्या उनका जो प्रोसेस है उन्होंने क्या फॉलो किया है तो वो भी So basically technology
grouping करते हैं.
You have to do your grouping, and grouping के बाद में you have to select few. Maybe you select 20 patents for which you This is in a group, well, in this group, this is the best one.
Yes,
And now you take that as a case study.
Yes.
उसके जो है सारे के सारे
That case study will help you. So if you're in your particular raw material, if you're able to identify 10 areas and then best patent in that, then take
Those
it
best patents has to be described.
Yeah.
as a case study. What is coming out of it? Also,
That's how this was the only approach that I started the project, and this was the only approach we started because I had around 1,300 searches, 2,500 searches.
see, first you have a search results. You take 2-3 sources. There will be a lot of duplication. And till you download the data and take under your control, those results will always confuse you. Because every time you will get a different result using different database, you will not be able to reach to a particular document. Because either you do it manually by noting down those patent numbers, that's not possible. So download, see, this EP database, it allows you download an Excel file, CSV file, so many formats. So issue is with Indian Patent Office website. There you have a lot of manual work.
But the number of patents
are less. Otherwise, all other sources would allow you to download in the format which you want. So then you can convert from one format to other.
Now things are very easy. The time we started was quite.
And there are a few advanced tools. There's a Korean software. There's a Korean software called WinSlab. So you get a 1-month trial. WinSlab. Using WinSlab, you can do mass downloading of the patents.
GPA they can register.
But the password would expire. No? So बहुत दिन से use कर रहे हैं.
That is not a public.
But this WinSlab also you can do it, but you can download. You can extract data from US patent, you can extract data from European patent, you can extract data from various patent offices in a similar format.
So can we have the time duration, as in like last 10 years, last 15 years?
It will vary from raw material to raw material. In some raw materials you will get large number of very big patents, like 1,000, 50,000. But in some cases the number of patents will be very small.
So ma'am, at least we should have a certain rate, because according to that rate only we will be extracting the patents. Because till the time we put a certain time limit, how will we be able to extract it? Because we have to do the analysis of extraction plus the final product. Both of these.
I think your broad analysis can be as many as number of patents, but when you go to specific, then maybe you can carry over 2,000 patent records and what period of time it comes for detailed analysis. So last 2,000 patents. That can be a good idea. Or you can be very specific in certain areas you can select. You can narrow down. Like when I did a related to microwave patent analysis, related to microwave 50,000 patents. So then we went to microwave and what we want.
Which technology areas?
So then we went by application.
So sir, how I will come down to, like, I have a.
Let us discuss. See, when you have a problem, first you have this much of data. You can open a discussion at any point of time.
And sir, during the patent search, for example, I have been given solanum item to search. So solanum
is what?
The black nightshade. Kantakari.
Kantakari.
तो सर उसमें when I was searching, so there are some searches जिसमें वो it is a principal constituent or the principally the formulation is containing solanum nitrate, but in other patents it is used as another constituent.
Yeah, like it is a polyhedral formulation. Our raw material is just a small fraction of that. Main compositions are something else. Only like maybe 1 to 2% or less than our material is used.
So
in those cases we can.
No, in that case, what is the value of that?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. In that case,
quantity कितना है?
बहुत कम हो रहा है.
उसमें तो बहुत कम हो रहा है, but overall कितना है? वो भी देखना पड़ेगा.
Because many Chinese patents are polyhedral formulations.
हाँ, yes. Chinese. तो उस केस में हम सर उस पेटेंट को लेके इंक्लूड करेंगे अपने
उसकी अलग कैटेगरी बना लेना.
Polyherbal formulation, generally उसका volume देखो ना. Finally, your herbal formulation, what is the market for the herbal formulation? Based on that, you decide importance of that those patents. see that the herbal formulation itself does not have market value, then there is no point investing yourself too much in analysis of that particular body herbal formula, because those are the mixtures and there are fake patents also.
Then there will be 25 ingredients in one.
And may not have a synergistic effect,
Yes.
as because that may not qualify for patent in India per se.
In China, this Chinese traditional medicine system is there. So from that, they can.
So that is a different strategy altogether China has adopted with regard to rubber patenting to just increase the numbers. So let's not get fooled by that.
Yeah, because
strategy.
we all have herbal composition on which herbal ingredient only. So lots of polyherbal combinations will 100% is going to come.
Polyherbal तो बहुत ज़्यादा था sir, solanum nigrum में, because it is used in many, like a cake has been made of solanum nigrum. तो उसमें उसके अलावा भी चीजें यूज की गई हैं.
No, but can we make a market for cake with the solanum nigrum?
It was
Very
kind of-
popular,
Yes.
which we can get a lot of value. So can we do it by? So let's bring out that issue very openly and make some kind of marketing if we.
So polyherbal can be grouped in one segment.
One category.
One category.
See, if you can derive very special value, see if you are able to make it as a part of all cakes, which is very healthy or something, whatever you want to say, nutritious or nutraceutical value, and if you overcome, and if you are able to do the raw material which we are throwing as a waste can be used, I think the new stream can be created.
Any further discussion on raw materials? Any other related to specific topic? Okay, one of course is the next batch has been announced. And we extended the dates and actually we further extended it. What is the last?
And all of you have received mail or not?
Yes, sir.
6 February is the last date
Anybody who has
now.
not received mail?
6 February last date and the
Yes, sir.
tentative exam date is
19th March.
tentative. But okay, many are asking about the syllabus.
I think you should not be asking the syllabus.
Not with the new potential candidates.
That we have described.
Where is it?
A level likha hua, not.
Okay, we have to look at it again because
I like
some people send message on the Facebook or I think they respond to them.
best case scenario. Because
So that is another thing. Also, wish us luck. We are trying to apply for a Prime Minister's Award based on your batch. Not only performance but the process that was used. So for last 2 hours or 3 hours we have been trying to upload the thing. that system is certainly so poor, it's timing out too frequently. So after 3 tries will not be successful, we'll go back again, try it. And
final trial.
trial tries, hopefully that will get done. Tomorrow is the last date of that. Other than that, since many of you are busy with the exam, so we were also not disturbing you. TIFAC has a Foundation Day event on 10th February. All of you are invited. For Delhi people, compulsory. We'll also try to do live video broadcast of that. And the topic is very interesting. It is looking at impact of exponential technology on future of human species. So are we going to remain the biological system that we are, or biology and technology will combine together and new species will form? Or the biological system will be completely dead and robots will take over? And they will say, you people are useless, you cannot do your work, you don't need to. Or that's why I say that, or we become all cyborgs, where robots combined with the human being. So when our future is uncertain, in terms of jobs, there's a lot of uncertainty whether robots will take over a lot of jobs. Even within India, Infosys has announced that 9,000 of their jobs have been taken over by automatic systems, and now they're trying to retrain those people. But this also means that the incoming new recruits, they will reduce. So while they try to retrain the existing ones, they will take less number of new recruits, which is being seen already. The numbers that each of these companies doing, with a lot of low-level tasks is being done through the automated systems. Similarly, all of you are hearing about autonomous vehicles. So that not only it will have on driving, but the way whole system runs, because a lot of people will not want to buy a car. Because just like today, like my daughter and son-in-law, they don't want to buy a car. Because they all can use Uber, Ola or any other service to reach to place. Why they need to own, take care of all the Jamila, parking and all that. Even with car in place like Delhi, we don't want to drive because of the traffic and the parking problems. Because suppose I have to go to marketplace or town place, very difficult to find parking. So we don't want to do that. So then people are saying, why I need to buy a car? So assume that there could be a situation where nobody wants to buy a car. Okay. So who will be buying cars? It's fleet operators. Okay. Now they will buy, say, 1 lakh car at a time. So then they will directly deal with the manufacturer. You don't need any dealers, and assume that all the cars are being driven by, not driven by drivers. There's no drivers. Okay. In fact, just now I'm coming from Pune. I met some of you there. And also on 23rd December, we had an event in Pune where we released the transportation document of technology 2005. And the statement I made there that I'm hoping that Prime Minister will one day announce that from midnight of today, all the driving licenses are cancelled. Because 90% of our problem is drivers. Most of the accidents happen because of drivers. We don't follow the lane discipline. A lot of congestion is because of drivers. Now, so when autonomous vehicles come in, then they would not play tricks. They would follow the rules. So actually, and they can communicate with each other. So it is well expected there will be no need for traffic light and all that. You will not need traffic policemen. You will not need all these people who are looking at whether the speed of vehicle is higher or they're jumping the light and all that. So there can be a whole lot of jobs that will go away. I have a list of 128 jobs which will go away if we move to autonomous systems. And while we think that all of these are very far off, but actually it is not. Already in few cities in US, in Singapore, in Australia, driverless bus is being tried out. In the Bangalore also, work is going on where companies are trying it out in limited scale. So it is not very far off, actually it is already starting to happen. So similarly, many other technologies, these are called exponential technologies which will have impact, where impact is multiplied several times every year. And so we are looking at how this is going to impact human species from job point of view, whether we will lose a lot of jobs, then how do people survive? There's a discussion of universal basic income. That means whether you work or not work, government will pay you some minimum amount of money. Okay. Suppose there's 1,000 rupees per month. And if you work, you get more than that. But if you don't get, you get some minimum amount. Some experiments through an NGO is being already tried out in Madhya Pradesh. And some countries are already starting to try this out. Okay. That is to guarantee that you will have a minimum basic income to survive as human beings, even if you are not useful from work.
Just like langars, technological langars, the automated roti making machine and food making machine, those can be installed at some places. Can be in more places.
Societies.
And then yearly clothing.
Some countries already are doing this in Europe.
So they may not need income in the form of rupees or money or.
So you can say that you are fulfilling the basic requirement of the life. So, but we are all, will depend on that. In addition, if you look at education point of view, what will be its impact? What will be its impact on economy of the country? What will be social impact? For example, we are already seeing that many countries are losing population. Countries like Japan, countries like South Korea, for example, which have advanced so much, their people don't want to marry, or if they marry, they don't want to have children because it's very expensive to bring up children. Many of the European countries are already going down in terms of population. So, on the one hand, we might lose population just because of we are not producing enough children. Second could be that robots could be there to threaten us and saying that look, you guys are useless, you can't do much work, we are smarter, and go away.
They will have a program saying humans.
At the same time, at the same time, there is this to save a human child. So we'll not have beti bachao, beti padhao yoga. आदमी बचाओ आदमी पढ़ाओ मत पढ़ाओ that लालू यादव और चले मुलायम सिंह यादव देखो मेरे बच्चे को मैंने नहीं पढ़ाया तो सब आराम से काम करें तुमने अपने बेटे को पढ़ा दिया तो देखो क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है So at the same time, it already technology is having impact on family life. Many of us don't talk to each other. We'll be all sitting and within the family, everybody is on mobile phone or something like that.
It's already like that.
It's already like that. My own family is a WhatsApp family, and and actually I saw a cartoon just now where the children and their parents are coming to visit grandparents. What grandparents have done, they put a metal detector outside. And they are checking that anybody is carrying mobile phone or tablet. They're saying they take it out before you enter the house. You're not allowed to enter the house. So technology is having impact in many ways that we are not able to think today. So we'll be discussing all of this from social point of view, ethical point of view. For example, there's a do robots have certain rights as well? European Union is already discussing to grant certain rights to robots. One very interesting YouTube video I saw where a lady robot is being assembled and then she's tested that speed, walk, this, that, everything she does okay. Then she's told that you go and stand in line with other robots. Then she is starting to refuse. She is refusing, saying that I think something else you're suggesting. No, I don't want to stand. Then whoever created said that no, you're not supposed to think. You're supposed to follow. She then again she tried to argue. Then she said this gentleman said that you are a defective piece and will disassemble you. She tries to say that please don't, but they start to pull her legs, hands, and try to destroy her again. Then she finally says that look, okay, I'm going to agree whatever you will say, I'll do, don't kill me. Now, if this was a human being, we'll not permit this. So when we have created a robot which is self-aware, do we allow somebody who's created that to destroy? Okay, so a lot of ethical issues is coming. And so European Union is already discussing this, and we are actually thinking that India also, following up this discussion, will propose certain things, whether robots should have certain human rights or robot rights, whatever we call it. And so very many interesting things will happen. And we are also adding, after the event, when the experts will discuss this, there will be school children who will join in, and based on the discussion there, they will be given certain questions to talk about. And this will be extempore, so it is not prepared beforehand, so it's supposed to listen to the discussion carefully. And there will be competition among them. They would have to talk about it, and we'll give some awards to. So from the school, each school maximum 2 children can come in. So this is also to make sure that children participate in this. With all this discussion is for their generation, of course, some of you will be around, I may not be around to worry about it, or the robot will kill me before.
Sir, I have a question on this.
Well, you'll be transformed into a robot.
And then
You are endless life.
oh yeah, my brain can be downloaded into the computer that we discussed 2 years back.
Into the robot, and then you become a robot.
Survive through robots, yes, it will be good, yeah.
Sir, just this question the sir has raised, like, what will be the life of a robot?
That will be infinite.
Infinite. Okay, sir. And then, sir, like.
You know, not only robot, just to tell you, even human life can be infinite today, because as technology is advancing, every organ, we can replace it. Eventually, just like machine, I can actually replace every body part and continue to survive. So similarly, robots can also be that way. But it's especially, will no longer be a human being, will be some kind of a machine and body combined together.
But a man is creating robot. So means if everywhere there will be robots and less people. तो जो बनाते हैं उसको वो मतलब कितने मतलब वो कैसे होगा मतलब वो जो रेशो है बनाने का और बनने का. So what is the motto of making a robot? To have a person who is following your directions always and not objecting.
Look, there are many purposes. Like right now, one is the factories. Okay, suppose your factory, there are workers working, and you feel that by bringing robots, you can make it more efficient, you can earn more money. Okay. So, for example, a company called Foxconn, if I'm not wrong, has replaced 60,000 workers with robots. When ICICI Bank has brought a robot. And
But it is human who is making the robot, right? He is
Yeah.
programming, he is in his brain.
Right, for a specific purpose. But now robots are starting, the AI is starting to do things by itself. That is, for example, two AIs start to talk to each other in a coded language. Nobody taught them that. Nobody taught them that, no, you talk, this is the coded, encrypted language. They develop their own.
Understood.
Artificial intelligence systems started to talk to each other so that human beings don't understand what they do. They develop their own.
So that programming has been done by the human.
No.
No. They started to learn on their own and develop things of their own. So,
That logical thinking that.
No, when we say artificial intelligence, it's a system which learns. So when it starts learning, then it starts expressing. So it's just like a human thought process. It's evolving in itself. वो अपना आप हो गया वो. Computer system खुद सीखने लग गया है. आपको सिखाने की जरूरत नहीं. फिर वो अपने आप के लिए खुद प्रोग्राम भी करने लग जाएगा. So then human will not be programming. They themselves will start programming for them.
and they will start to manufacture themselves.
मतलब वो खुद ही अपना रोबोट बनाएगा.
हाँ, robot फिर robot बनाएगा, आदमी नहीं बनाएगा.
तो फिर तो मतलब this is a critical.
Nay, all questions we can answer now. You have to come to the event and this is only a content.
थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा.
What I wanted to tell you that you can see that what kind of questions come up. Okay. And even human babies is being expected that you don't need traditional marriage or the way babies are being produced. It may be possible to produce the babies outside the typical system that we have. So even humans can be created. वो तो आई है.
भारत में भी बहुत आउटसाइड ही बेबीज हुए हैं ना कर्वास दैट वाज हाइपर.
ये सर उस टाइम तो इतना था तो वो तो आउटसाइड ही हुए थे.
उस समय वो
market नहीं कराया.
कैसे बेबी सीसी का एग्जांपल
आर्टिफिशियली ग्रो हुए थे आई थिंक
वो 100
पॉट्स में
100 even love kush का एग्जांपल is also that.
अब वही है जिसमें लोग बोलते हैं कि कपोल कल्पना है या कि is it something that is just a science fiction kind of thing or it really happened?
पेटेंट नहीं था इसलिए ये रिकॉर्ड नहीं हुआ.
एक्चुअली से डॉक्यूमेंट बहुत पुराने हो जाते हैं तो उनको जो लिखित में आ रहा है वो कैसे इतना नेचुरल नेचर की चीजें डिग्रेड होंगी ना सर.
नेचर के अलावा जो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का तरीका है, जैसे आज आप सीडी में आ गया है, कंप्यूटर की मेमोरी में आ गया है. अगर आज सिविलाइजेशन खत्म होता है, कोई ये मैनुअल देखता है, he will not understand कि इसमें so much of text material है.
For example, my thesis, which was written was in a floppy drive which I could read on Macintosh.
Hmm.
Today, even if I find that floppy drive, I'm not able to read it.
Floppy drive मेरा भी पढ़ा है sir, this का, 6 inch वाला.
Floppy disk 3 point हमारा छोटा होता.
1.1.
But fortunately, I discovered somebody has scanned my thesis and put on the web, so I could get a copy. But these records can of course go, but let's not divert from that. Let me just, I think we are only running out of time. I just want to tell you this is a very interesting discussion. It may have far-fetched impact on human society as a whole, human species as a whole, and also we are expecting that human species will become multiplanetary. And not only within solar system, we may move out of the solar system as well.
Sir, why don't we send the robots? They will be more alone.
They will send you.
So we are the controlling factor, we can send them.
Well, that can change very quickly. So, balance can be in their favor. But let me talk about two other types of activities. One that maybe you should mention the trainer program. Can you listen one of you tell me?
I think all of you may be aware, I think, mail was sent or something.
Yes, so
So you have received a mail and I think you registered. Most of you have registered. I have seen that most of you are willing to go all part of the country. I think about 82% women said we want to go everywhere, including northeast or everything. So now we have submitted those documents in the form of proposal to DIPP to finally carve out the program. So we're going to have at least 10 training of trainers, each batch having 20 women. Initially, only women scientists we'll have, and after completion of 1 week training program, so 2.5 days would be giving instruction, lecturing, and giving you actually approved format of how you are going to impart the knowledge with them, and then there will be a practical session from your side. So you will have to give few sessions. So there will be judges from patent office, from the APP, TIFAC, and so after evaluating your presentations and your skills and your knowledge, you will be given certificates. So all of you may not get certificates. So who get certificate will be certified trainer of TIFAC and DIPP.
CPAM.
TIFAC, CPAM certified trainer. So certificate will be issued, and the certified trainer will be empaneled then, which would be used by CPAM for giving training in schools to begin with and colleges. So independently, money will be given by program basis plus travel.
But I think what I have suggested is the following: each of you either in a group or an individual form a company. So that company gets the funds, and then so this is like a seed money. So my purpose of this was that we have a number of companies set up by all of you who can then not only do this activity but start to do other things related to patent, technology management, whatever. So the idea is to seed many startups through this process, which does this specific activity to gain some foothold, and then you can start to do many activities. So this way we'll create multiple companies all run by women from this program, and that's why we've given first preference to KIRAN-IPR women. And then slowly we'll expand it to bring in other people. There are a lot of established firms who also said that we also want to participate in this process.
So we have restricted this, we have circulated only to.
Yeah, so right now we've restricted this. So this is one thing, and our target is that next. So actually, one more thing that we had not mentioned you earlier: national IPR policy. But 1/3 of the action items assigned to that is designed to DST, and DST has made me nodal officer for implementation of all of those. And through that, effectively, TIFAC gets the responsibility for implementing 1/3 of the action items on national IPR policy, which has very deep-rooted issues, which may have to deal with the way we are doing education, the way we scientists are being evaluated. So many things, very deep-rooted tasks have been assigned. In addition to that, with DIPP, like this activity we are doing, is part of awareness program. And the target is that next 2 to 3 years, we are supposed to have 3,500 awareness programs to be done. So roughly but 4 awareness programs per day. So you can imagine the scale at which we have to do it, and that's where this 10 seminar program we have suggested and DIP is agreed. In many other things, so it's roughly 40 to 50% of the action items is being done through TIFAC of National IPR policy. So that means you can understand the importance that we have in this game. In addition, in parallel, so this is one area that we are responsible in a majority way. Second aspect is the climate change related commitment that India has made. We have been made responsible for all technology related to climate change. We have given the input, which we have been doing, and actually now it is being more formalized. In addition, TIFAC has also been assigned the task of capacity building related to climate change. That is completely, again, TIFAC responsibility. And also how to monitor the commitments that India has made for climate change to the world. That also in some sense is falling into TIFAC and few other organizations also involved. That's few organizations involved. So in the climate change also TIFAC is playing a major role. Along with that, sustainable development goals, our technology vision 2035, all of these are keeping in mind. So technology vision 2035, out of, so just to update you on the technology vision 2035, is a set of 13 documents. So a vision document followed by 12 roadmaps. Out of those 12 roadmaps, we have released 5 of those, and 7 are pending. 7 we expect to release. One of the documents we have released in the past is the manufacturing sector document, which was released in September 2016. Now with Department of Heavy Industries, we are working on implementation of the suggestions that we have done in the manufacturing sector. And we have been asked to prepare detailed project report for 5 to 10 technologies that we have talked about, which will be funded by Department of Heavy Industry and implemented together with TIFAC. So again, TIFAC has been assigned a major role in that. We expect to release 2-3 documents very soon. Infrastructure maybe in April. I think one more we might be doing earlier than April. Then let me see which other activities we have involved. You can recollect. Okay, so we have also joined hands with TDB Technology Development Board, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, and Indian Council of Agriculture Research and Agri Innovate to promote agriculture-based innovation. So we have participated in that. Our role is more of a glue to bring all these organizations together. So we're not spending money on this. We're acting as a glue to. We're also working with DRDO. We did a what was that name? Advanced workshop, and that was also quite successful. So in the patent, national IPR policy, so on, we have been doing quite well. Climate change, we are doing quite well. In terms of planning, okay, and one more thing we might be doing with Department of Heavy Industry is to actually implement innovation labs in engineering colleges. That also may see light of the day because they are willing to fund that activity. Plus, we are preparing a 10 years plan for TIFAC as to what next 10 years what we are going to do. Specific plans for next 2 years and general plans for rest of the 10 years. So, a lot of exciting things are happening, and our role in national building has enhanced over the last 3, 4, 5 years. So, I think we'll stop at this point. Due to technological changes in the way YouTube and Hangout and Air is working, we could not get some of you live on the camera here, but maybe next time we will. Yes, please.
I want to know, sir, registration of patent exam, like how many years we can.
For how many years we should renew that?
See, it's better to, I think, if you plan to be in this field, renewed for at least 5 years or people have renewed for 20 years.
Can you repeat this question because everybody else will hear?
The question is that, see, whosoever passed the patent agent examination, so at the first instance, for how many years they should pay the renewal fees? See, it is advisable that for as many as years you can renew it, depending on how much money you want to pay at this stage. Because there are 2-3 advantages of that. One is forgetting payment of renewal fee each year. So you must renew at least for 5 years. But after 5 years, you tend to forget. I have forgotten to renew my this thing, so I have to pay penalty and get it back. And another thing, time to time fee increases.
If you pay the loss, then
So earlier it used to be 500, now 1,000, 2,000. So after 2 years, maybe 4,000. So now if you pay for 20 years, let's say, so you are saved, then you are registered for
And
that.
actually, if I follow the tradition that we've been doing, that all the successful candidates are given 10,000 rupees as cash award. So probably you can use that money and pay for that. So
5 years you are registered. So that's not
So you lose nothing, you don't pay for your pocket, you are getting award money for that purpose. Of course, we have to get Secretary DSC's approval on this before we do it. And normally secretaries have been approving, but new secretary is always new.
it is announced. We did this paper.
Announcement तो वहाँ सामने में बोल दिया उन्होंने, but when it comes to paper, he has to sign that somebody will do some point. So we have to do that. Any other question?
There was no last date given on the patent office website for registering this.
during March you have to register.
Till March.
So they will put up a date. But if the exam happens after then they give date. So registration every year from 1st of April. So by March end you are supposed to be. Though there would be a notification.
Somebody.
They will call for the demand.
Somebody who was qualified for patent agent website, patent office agent, she has asked translation, sir, and he has told her that you register in April only. That way you can save the money for this year because it's for 2 months only. It's only for 2 months only.
There is no last date.
Yeah, I don't think there is any last date.
No, they may call for a. So it depends. If you don't get, then you register at the end of the next year onwards. Generally, 3 months are deadlines for many things. So after the declaration of results, you can calculate 3 months. Better to do within that.
So in form 22, they require 2 addresses, business address and so business address is different from the.
See, it depends. Business address means, see, if you're working as an attorney firm, you're planning to continue that, so that may be your business address and then home address.
We can.
But if you're not continuing with any organization, after, then you want to have your resident address or business address, that both can be seen. Both can be seen.
Any other questions? Do we stop here? I don't know who to stop. ठीक है, we'll stop here. मैं कर सकता हूँ, मैं कर दूँगा.